real quick, if anybody saw the last video I posted, you might have noticed I don't have a reel. I had to use ratchet straps to get it home after the night that the batteries died. It was just a terrible night all the way around. If you can see over here, I have a hill that goes down. That hill, so I was trying to leave in a hurry and I forgot to lock it. So the boat slammed into the back of my truck, and what hit my truck, the back bumper, was the actual reel. So that's bent down. The reel's actually in the back of the truck and Jessica has it right now, so I can't fix it, but we're talking about taking the boat out tonight. So if this works, old trick I learned from welding. If you need to bend plate back into place, you can use a crescent wrench and just get it about the size of the plate and go where you need to go. So I'm gonna straighten that out and throw that back on. We're talking about taking the boat out, like I said, tonight, Monday night. And there you go. Not perfect, but flat enough. So what had happened was when it hit my truck, it sheared the bolts. So when Jessica went to back the boat in, or the trailer in to pick the boat back up, she reeled it, and when she was walking away, I noticed it was still bouncing. So it was just, and then when she gave it one final crank, boom, popped off. No big deal. I always have 100 ratchet straps with me in the truck, so just didn't take the freeway home. But when she gets home, I'll go to my spare bolts, get the same size, throw that back on. We're good to go. All right, so here's where we're at. It's the next morning. I made a whole mess of my boat trying to get everything done. I didn't make a whole lot of progress last night. It got dark. Had to fix Jessica's car. The battery cable had snapped on it, so I redid that. Didn't make a whole lot of progress on the boat. I got 3 of them drilled and ready to go. So this guy here, where this wire is coming out, I'll match that here on the other side. I ended up changing the positioning on the sides and moved it to right here off of the consoles. So that way if somebody's fishing right here and standing up facing that way or this way, it's not gonna be like right shining in their face. I'm hoping the red light is going to not interrupt your night vision so much. But at least regardless, I moved them to the consoles to just light forward and keep it out of people's eyes. So that's where I'm at. I didn't really get a whole lot of progress done. Oh, you know what? I did get the wires pulled from across this side and around. That wasn't super hard because I have access to my fuel pump, or no, the fuel sending unit. So I could just feed it one way, pull it the other way around, pull it, and I'm good. Oh, let's see how this fared. Looks pretty good. There's no pieces hanging down, so that stuff worked. We'll see how it does when it heats up and cools down, but I'll just respray it or put up like something out of a caulking tube that's gonna really lay it in there, some kind of glue. But I've got that piece to do down there that's hanging down, and then that's really all the gluing I gotta do. So yep, we're gonna keep on keeping on. Psych, just kidding. I can't continue because I forgot I don't have hardware to get it mounted, because it came with a screw and a nut that goes on it, not a like I need more like these. And I have enough to do 3 lights. Those ones I guess I could do, so that's 4, 5 lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm doing 8 lights. So I need 3 more. And all the rest I'll need those screws for too. So I'm going to the store. All right. And to get this hardware, we are going to none other than my work. Glendale Bass Pro Shops. I honestly hate coming here on my day off, but I have to today because they are the closest place to my house that is gonna for sure have stainless steel hardware, which I'm definitely gonna want on this application, and I don't wanna chintz out because they will be exposed and we go out in rain, sleet or snow. So let's get in and find what we need. Yeah, let's go in there. Look at that turtle swimming.
Daddy, look it up here.
What are those?
Oh, little tiny ones.
You like the little tiny bluegillies?
Yeah, like me.
Huh?
Yeah, like me.
Like you, little tiny?
Yeah.
Little tiny buckwheat?
Whoa!
Yep. Those are the fish mommy and daddy always catch. Okay. 84 piece. Those all look too big. You know what? We may not have some small enough. Pride. Well, there's those. I might just have to drill out the holes on the... Yep. I'm just gonna get this so I have a bunch of extra stuff. And I'll just use those. Okay. Boom. All right, that wasn't so bad. Usually I get stuck in there forever, but look at that. Focus. Perks of working there. I got all the screws and candy for the kids for less than I was gonna pay for the screws alone. So, easy as that. Yep, so there's the damage. That's what broke my crank off. All right, how about that, huh? Living so close to work. I'm only 2 miles from Bass Pro, so it's, if I hit the green lights just right, I'll make it in 4 minutes. But, so, as suspected, the smallest hardware I can find is still a smidge too big. So I'm gonna have to just drill them out a tiny bit. But I'm pretty sure you're supposed to drill pilot holes in the PVC or it could crack it. So I'm definitely gonna do that as well because these aren't self-tapping by any means. So. All right, getting somewhere. They're not mounted, nothing's mounted yet. But they're on, tested them. I learned in wiring up lights inside of my kayak, if you guys have seen what it looks like when it was lit up. I don't have it in the new kayak, but the old kayak. just test everything and make sure it's high and tight before you feed those wires back through, because now if I needed to get to it and do something, change something, if it wasn't working, I got to feed the whole thing back through and do it all over again. So just when you have it all out, don't put it all back together without plugging it in and checking first, and then feed your wires back through when you know that they're not going to come disconnected and it's all good, all tight, good to go. So that's where we're at. We got the first ones hooked up. Probably mount those and then move on to the second row, third row, and fourth row.
Gently down the stream. Merry me, like the stream. Oh, it's not chili dogs anymore.
Well, look at this. We are on the water. I got the lights done. I'll do a video on that. But I figured since I'm out here and the family's over there swimming, I would do a little how it's set up when we're fishing. So, up front, hook 7, power drive. All of our rods right here on the side. That's all storage in there that we do, or, well, it's more the stuff we don't use often because it's under the rods. Bit of tackle, accessories, tools and stuff. All the boxes, so I don't leave them in my bag here anymore. Soft plastics, water, drinks, the pad I was talking about for the kiddos, speaker, moves around the boat wherever, 93 SV, whatevers, live well, batteries, storage. So this is usually how my day ends up a couple times throughout. Everyone swims and I just continue to fish or do whatever. I'm not much of a swimmer in lakes. So, yep, beautiful day at Lake Pleasant. Not a whole lot of boat traffic, but they're out. They're out.
No, you cheated. No, you cheated.
All right. Let's see how she does today. Doing good. Nice and slow. This might be the best one yet.
It's the booty of the truck. There's the booty of the truck.
That's perfect. Let's see if I can get her on with one hand.
I got this.
Nice job, Jessica. jack that up. I figured I might as well film this. So, came out here because last time we were out on the boat on Sunday, Jessica and I noticed that we were leaving like an oil trail behind us. So I opened it up to see what it would be. I knew it was blue oil, so I definitely wanted to check this reservoir. I cleaned it up now, but there was oil dripping down in a couple areas. And following the drip, it seemed to come right around here in the front. So I'm like, okay, well maybe the cap was just a little loose. Tightened it, it did go down a bit. And then after further investigation, I found it. That's it. So that's a relief, because that's an easy fix. But wondering where oil might be coming in an outboard motor. Now, y'all know me, I'll try to fix anything, but I don't know how to fix an outboard. I've done some lower unit work, impellers and stuff like that. That's, to me, easy stuff. But engines, they just intimidate me. Any of them. I mean, I've done crazy things on motors before, getting them all torn apart and put back together running, but not boats. So, lucky for me, just that. I'll probably just repair that one instead of trying to find that part, since all that's wrong with it is it's leaking oil. Oh, and another way I discovered is if you can look how dirty that got in there, which it was cleaned before we went out. I was putting in the transom saver, and when I leaned up to hit the button that's over on the panel over there, I noticed a bunch of blue floating in the water. Well, that's where it's coming from. So, easy fix, thank goodness, thank gracious, goodness gracious, it's an easy fix. All right, it's hot as crap, so I'm just gonna do this quick so I can get it inside, and I'm gonna try to fix it. So we established yesterday that the oil leak is coming from this cap. This cap has this sensor on it, probably a low oil sensor. It comes down through here, went through this ground and power. So I'm gonna slide this out. So I found out that these are only $40 on Amazon. So either I fix it or I buy a new one. It's super cheap. I don't care about that. Okay. Stick something in there. Oh, sorry. Terrible camera work, guys. Okay. I was watching what I was actually doing instead of the camera. All right. So figure out how to fix this and I'll show you. All right, real quick, here's my solution to the cap. It's goopy, but it will do. So the first thing I did was just hit it with a lighter. Well, I cleaned it and then I hit it with a lighter and melted it together. And that's just because the welder in me was like, well, I'll just fuse it back together. It worked, but you couldn't get enough heat to get deep enough penetration, apparently, because it made I melted it pretty good. Made the crack disappear and everything, but then when I went to put it on, it was all good, and then I'm like, you know, let's see if I can get it a little bit, and it cracked. So not enough penetration from the heat. So what I ended up using is this 3M Marine 5200 adhesive sealant. So this better work because it has a freaking 7-day curing time. 48 hours to not be tacky, and then 7-day curing time. So the 48 hours, today's Saturday. I'm not planning on being on the water until Wednesday. Look at all these leaves. This is just from a day, 2 days. 2 days since the last time we were out. It's these mesquite trees, man. They're awesome for the shade, but they dump crazy amount of leaves all year long. It's non-stop, freaking everywhere. So that's why the boat cover is like an absolute must. Not to mention the Arizona sun, but yeah, now I'm just monologuing, I guess. So I guess we'll give this a couple days to cure, because it is still, I put it on a couple hours ago and you can't touch it yet. It's not even close. So this stuff's supposed to be like insane. So we'll see. Like I said, worst case scenario, 30 bucks on Amazon. All right, so I blew the leaves off and uncovered it for y'all because I wanted to finish up talking about the lights. So over here, I ended up going all to one switch like I said I was gonna do, and bam. So I got some wiring still to clean up and put away, but check this boat out now. Super lit up, came out very, very well. 2 on the front deck, obviously lights that up great. 2 facing forward right here, obviously lights that up great. I did 2 down here in the cockpit area, 1 on each side, and then of course the back deck ready to go. So came out way better than I expected. I mean, it lights this thing up, matches the red, and just makes it super nice. Super nice. Nice to have. All those nights out there not having it, this is gonna be nice to have. And of course, I walk up here to turn these on and my freaking battery switches on like I always forget and leave it on. That's what killed my battery and gave us that terrible night of the story, all because of that switch right there. But it was plugged in this whole time, so if you can see over there, not all my lights work. Yeah, you can't really see, but voltage is right where it needs to be. Boom. Another thing too is I wired these up on a whole separate system. So again, just trying to keep anything off of my starting battery to prevent me from being able to get back for any reason. Boom. Yep, that's it. So I'm definitely gonna wrap this video up right here. Got the lights on. I would say that it's easy to do yourself if you have the patience to do it. It's probably way easier in my 1987 Skeeter than it is in the newer boats, because my buddy was just showing me a video that he was doing where he was just trying to install a double graph mount on the front, and like the foam that he had to drill through to get to it, and I didn't have to do that. But the reel tape that I did use, you had to like, it's nylon or plastics, it's something, so it holds memory so hard, and you have to, like, as you're going down the gunnels, twist it so that it stays in the direction, because if it rolls over and gets down, it'll just curl up and you'll just be feeding it, and it'll just be winding. Other than that though, that was the hardest part, was getting the fish tape through. After that, it's literally just running the wire red to red, black to black. I didn't make it super complicated and try to, like, I just ran the wires everywhere to where they needed to go, brought them all back to right here, that switch, on, off, off my, not on my starting battery. So good to go. I literally uncovered the boat just to do that and wrap this video up on the lights and my cap, I guess now. So see you soon.